This is a group of photos from our collection of flood photos over the last 20 years. That house was actually abandoned after the flood a year and a half ago and is currently in foreclosure. The residents are hoping to get this house condemned, so the water does engulf the whole block, and it affects 12 houses on this block. This is my yard on the left and another neighbor on the right. We get between 1 and 3 feet of water, and this has happened 15 times since I've lived here in the last 20 years.
Two cars in the garage, so we lost our cars, and we ran down there thinking we could try to do something, but we were too little too late. There was so much water in front of the garage door that opening it to get the cars out at that point was a bad idea, because the water would have just come into the house that much faster. So my kids are still home. They're 8 and 6. They're standing on the stairs towards the basement, and I'm throwing Christmas decorations up at them like, hurry up, pull them upstairs.
Water came up in the middle of the basement, and instead of going back down, it just stayed. And we actually had neighbors come over and try to help us bail it out, and it didn't go, so we ended up sitting and having Bloody Marys on the porch while we waited for it to stop raining.
I yelled upstairs to wake everybody up in the house so they could come and help. In the 5 to 6 minutes it took them to get there, the basement had 6 inches of water and all the towels and clothes were just floating.
This past April, I went downstairs the morning after the flood and didn't even go all the way downstairs. I just saw things floating. So I closed the door, called my brother, and asked him what he was doing this weekend.
And as you know, when you don't have flood insurance, because you do not live in a floodplain, which we do not, the cars were covered, but the measly 10 grand didn't even cover the furnace, water heater, washer and dryer, et cetera, that was down there.
And we're not really sure, other than employing this $20,000 or $8,000 or $5,000 or however many thousands of dollars these cutoff systems and basement ceiling systems are, but that's not the solution for the neighborhood. That's the solution for our home individually, but that doesn't help all the retirees on the block, that doesn't help all the single parents, it doesn't help anybody else who can't afford that kind of expenditure.
What I'm afraid of next is if we all get a flood control, where's that water going to go? It's got to go somewhere. So right now my whole neighborhood is dug up. Every other house has a big backhoe digging up the front yard, and everybody's buying flood control systems. So my fear is what's going to happen when we all get one. Then where's it going to go?
I really need somebody to come in and say, you need this, but you don't need this, and I need a little bit of that and a little bit of that.
So the problem is community scale. No individual property owner, as many of you will know, can seek to tackle this problem on their own, and nor can individual agencies.
I'm kind of leading this neighborhood effort, and I had a petition out, and I contacted Harriet Festing, and kind of reaching out to anyone and everyone to see who we could get help from to just get a plan. And we've had a couple of meetings so far, and it's so far a positive response.
What is a positive note on all this, though, is the neighborhood does pull together, and they do help each other and work up. So that's a good thing. It brings people together and they get to know each other.